Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moments. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star 2 episode number 199 based on novel. So let's start. With the help of his two companions, the giant god emperor had originally restrained Luo Feng, but Luo Feng suddenly disappeared, transforming into 1.08 billion origins, and these origins, like a brilliant galaxy, naturally formed a formation. This was one of the three forbidden techniques Luo Feng developed based on his own advantages, the origin great destruction. These three forbidden techniques all require a suitable environment to achieve the best effect. They are called forbidden techniques because the cost of using them is incredibly high. But the 1.08 billion origins formed a formation, triggering a chain reaction, instantly turning into an energy storm capable of destroying everything. This energy storm tore apart space-time, and even the massive abdomen of the giant god emperor nearest to the 1.08 billion origins was instantly torn through, its enormous body directly severed. Oh no! The giant god emperor was both shocked and furious. Avoid it! The dual domains of the primordial beast ancestor and the black tide ancestor were also the first to be impacted by this endless energy. The dual domains they formed were indeed formidable, but even the closest domain was destroyed and annihilated, turned into energy in the face of absolute power, which further fueled the energy storm, making it even more terrifying. A massive energy storm, like a radiant jade disk, erupted from the abdomen of the giant god emperor. It tore through the body of the giant god emperor, pierced through the dual domains, carrying more terrifying energy, and spreading in all directions. Boom! When the power exceeded a certain limit, it triggered a special reaction. The surrounding spacetime was instantly annihilated, and the vast area instantly became a dazzling ball of light. The dozens of surrounding ancestors didn't even have time to react, completely submerged in the energy storm. How can this be? The giant god emperor was filled with rage and panic. Part of the dual domains of the primordial beast ancestor and black tide ancestor protected the legs of the giant god emperor, while another part protected its chest and above. Even in the terrifying center of this explosion, with the protection of the ultra-powerful dual domains, the giant god emperor only lost a third of its body. The dual domains protected the rest of its body, allowing it to merge together. Luckily, I had you too. Otherwise, I would have died this time. The giant god emperor was still somewhat frightened. Unlike Luo Feng and Wulan, as lords, had bodies that they created themselves, naturally pursuing extremities. The bodies of Luo Feng and Wulan reached the theoretical limit in energy density. But the giant god emperor was not. It was born of the infinite primordial space, accompanying the transformation of its life core, growing naturally. Though its body was enormous, its explosive power was among the strongest even among the 9 emperors. But its life preservation capability was much weaker in comparison, and its body's energy density wasn't as high as Wulan's or Luo Feng's. Faced with such a powerful force at close proximity, if not for its two companions, it would indeed have been entirely annihilated. That Luo Feng still had such a move, costing me a tenth of my body. The primordial beast ancestor was surprised. Its body was the strongest domain in the entire infinite primordial space. Along with Black Tide Ancestor, they excelled in domain skills. Cooperating with the giant god emperor, they complemented each other and had incredible deterrence power. I also lost nearly a tenth. Black Tide Ancestor's domain was at the outermost layer, yet the loss was similar to that of the primordial beast ancestor. The three suffered a significant setback, now becoming more cautious, observing everything around. This terrifying power swept through dozens of surrounding ancestors, whose life-saving abilities were far inferior to the combined trio of the giant god emperor. Even being somewhat further away and facing slightly less impact, it was still quite tragic. A total of 26 ancestors were heavily injured under the terrifying force. Annihilate. At this moment, 26 incredibly dazzling golden lightnings descended. Lord Minghuang did not hesitate to burn his main combat avatar. The 26 terrifying golden lightnings were unavoidable, already striking the 26 heavily injured ancestors. Ah! No! Help! The 26 ancestors were already gravely injured, and Lord Minghuang's all-out attack terrified them further, the golden lightning unavoidable. Even though their companions attempted to save them, the golden lightning still struck. 5 of the gravely wounded ancestors, unable to protect their life cores, saw their cores crack open under the golden lightning. These 5 ancestors perished on the spot. The other 21 ancestors were all gravely wounded, seized by panic. Collect. Endless light enveloped, rescuing them. However, the dead bodies of the 5 ancestors were quietly moved away by space-time. 5 ancestors have died. The other ancestors present were somewhat in shock, unable to comprehend what they were witnessing. In previous times, some among them had also fallen, but that was usually after long battles, with the weaker ones among them dying. But this time was too sudden. Instantly, 26 ancestors suffered heavy injuries, followed by the death of 5. The 5 ancestors who died were among the stronger ones, not the weakest among the ancestors. They purely had bad luck, being too close to the 3 of the giant god emperor. The terrifying explosion dealt too heavy a blow. Unlucky? Too close. Such a reason was unconvincing to the ancestors. They could accept being eliminated in war due to being the weakest, but could not accept falling due to bad luck. This time, it was 5 ancestors with bad luck. Would it be their turn next time? Die? Cultivator lords, go to your deaths. Die, all of you. 5 ancestors perished, 21 severely injured ancestors were taken away by the infinite ancestor. The remaining 70-odd ancestors were filled with rage, and even a hint of fear, as they unleashed their attacks recklessly. At this moment, the Cultivator Lord battle formation, without Wu Lan and Luo Feng, how could it withstand? The 70-odd ancestors struck with full force, and the 3 of the giant god emperor struck with anger as well. Space-time maze. Starlight Lord attempted to use space-time shift to redirect these powers, but this time, the infinite snake ancestor temporarily relinquished the suppression on Wu Lan, allowing infinite fire ancestor and silent extinction ancestor to restrain for a short time. Infinite snake ancestor fully controlled the void, preventing the formation of the space-time maze. Boom! Various highest-level powers interwove, enveloping the area. Go! In an instant, Starlight Lord also burned part of the main battle avatar and forcibly shifted away 3/10 of the power under the influence of the void controlled by Infinite Snake Ancestor. Nai Gu. Yuan's formation also strived to resist, further reducing part of the power. Lord Nai Gu transformed into a colossal entity with 9 massive heads. His enormous body actively devoured all power, and though his body surface began to fragment under these powers, it was rapidly restoring. Mastering several ancestor bloodlines as one, Lord Nai Gu was skilled in all techniques. Before Luo Feng became a lord, he assisted Wu Lan in resisting external powers. But with the strikes of over 70 ancestors, even after multiple reductions, nearly half of the power still fell. Lord Nai Gu's body fragmented within a single breath. Phew! Luo Feng's 1,800,000,000 origins, the Great Destruction Storm, was transmitted over a long distance, now very weak. Suddenly involving endless range with faint power, it quickly contracted. Almost in the blink of an eye. Within the Cultivator Lord battle formation, endless power instantly condensed into a silhouette, a figure clad in black with black hair. His figure was massive, standing in front of Lord Nai Gu, resisting the assault of those highest-level powers. Nai Gu, leave it to me. Luo Feng's voice rang out. Seeing the newly appeared Luo Feng, the fragmented-bodied Nai Gu couldn't help smiling. Just one breath, and I almost got blown apart. The 8 lords knew each other's techniques. They all understood Luo Feng's forbidden technique Origin Great Destruction, although it fully unleashed all power. Yet Luo Feng's strength could even recover part from the void. Every unit of Luo Feng's energy contained immense spirituality. After the destructive momentum ended, it all gathered again. Still have 20% of the energy reserve. Luo Feng could sense his state. After the complete destructive burst, 2/10 could still be restored. The physical body appeared intact, yet the newly formed 1,800,000,000 origins were very weak, and in a weakened state, the energy absorption speed greatly diminished. Stronger energy reserve equals faster absorption speed. The weaker oneself is, the slower the absorption. If it were just a weak avatar formed by a mere thought, absorbing for a day would barely restore to 1% energy reserve. I'm too weak now, energy recovery speed is only 1/10 of the pinnacle. Luo Feng could ascertain his own recovery speed. However, those ancestors were unaware of Luo Feng's recovery speed. They only saw Luo Feng standing in front of Wu Lan, fully resisting the impact of residual power. Has he recovered again? Wasn't he completely transformed into an endless energy storm? How did he recover? Indeed, the ancestors were in turmoil. Is there any point in continuing this battle? An ancestor's angry voice echoed within their companion's mind. This Lord Luo Feng's strength is completely mysterious. He previously transformed into a destructive storm and 5 ancestors died. Who knows what other techniques he might have? I can sense Luo Feng's energy reserve, only about 2/10 remain. We can crush these lords. But so what if we crush them? 8 lords, undying and undying. Once they recover the main battle avatars, they will rise again. I don't think there's any need to continue this battle. In this entire infinite primordial space, the fundamental reason for the ceasefire was because a new lord emerged. Even if the ceasefire is won, its significance is limited. Just for a little dignity, is it worth losing several more ancestors? Among these ancestors, there were already quite a few opposing the war. This time, they felt the 9 emperors gathered. Over 100 ancestors joined forces to hold an absolute advantage, which is why many ancestors were willing to participate. But upon realizing bad luck might mean death, the number of anti-war ancestors greatly increased. Not good. Infinite Snake Ancestor and others sensed the opposition within the ancestors. Even some ancestors originally always following them were now against the war. Honestly, dying 5 ancestors earlier was too unjust. Cultivating to the ancestor level was so hard. Under normal circumstances, they were very difficult to perish. This time, because of the new Lord Luo Feng's strength, we were unclear and suffered losses. Infinite Snake Ancestor's voice sounded in its companions' minds. Once we understand him completely and have absolute certainty, then we act. For now, let's cease the war. Infinite Snake Ancestor realized the problem. With over 30 ancestors opposing, it couldn't continue. Phew. Along with Infinite Snake Ancestor, Silent Extinction Ancestor, Inference Fire Ancestor relinquishing the suppression, Wu Lan also regained freedom and immediately returned to the battle formation. Have these ancestors ceased attacking? Yuan, Starlight, Luo Feng, Jin, Wu Lan, Ming Huang, Nai Jiyu, Mo Man all focused on the opponents. Although Luo Feng's recovery ability weakened significantly, he still prioritized restoring his companions to the pinnacle. His own energy reserve has slowly recovered from 20%. The Infinite Snake Ancestor looked at this troublesome group of lords, knowing in its heart that after the emergence of the new lord, Luo Feng, their original plan to completely destroy all territories of the cultivators had failed. The cultivator camp now has a deeper foundation, destined to be the biggest opponent to the innate primordial life camp. In the endless future years, they will continue to fight until a clear winner is determined. Unexpectedly, faced with the war of extermination, you have birthed a new lord. The Infinite Snake Ancestor spoke, as the group of ancestors behind it also looked afar at Luo Feng and the others. This time was indeed very dangerous. Yuan nodded in acknowledgement. If Luo Feng hadn't made a breakthrough, we would indeed have lost all territories. In previous clashes, they failed time and again. They could only try to delay the opponent's steps but couldn't prevent the territories from falling. This battle ends here. The Infinite Snake Ancestor spoke. Next time, we'll determine the true victor. Yuan nodded. Next time, we'll determine the true victor. Yuan also had confidence that if another lord joined in the future, the situation would be even better. Let's go. Carried by the Mother of Spacetime, with countless claws, the ancestors all left through space and time, while the 8 lords watched everything. The ceasefire is temporary. Yuan spoke. The ancestors' overall strength surpasses ours. Lord Mo Man said, looking into the distance. Earlier, when I joined Jin and Ming Huang to burn the main battle avatar for an assault, we had some results. But this time, they were prepared, reducing the effect of our assault notably. It was still Luo Feng's forbidden technique that created a chance. Dividing me and the battle array actually gave me an opportunity. Luo Feng smiled faintly. Starlight said, absorbing source world origin, and the threat of death both might lead the ancestors to evolve. After this war, it is estimated that some ancestors will make breakthroughs. The lords will progress, and the ancestors will as well. Mastering the highest level power is not the limit for the ancestors. They will continue to evolve until reaching the level like Infinite Snake Ancestor and Initial, which is the ultimate in one direction, undying and undying. Though the ancestors may advance further, they are no match for us cultivators. Ming Huang confidently smiled, and indeed, from the early days when the gap was huge, step by step to the present, the gap continues to narrow. Let's return to the land of origin and study the ancestors' corpses carefully. Yuan smiled. Regardless of the outcome, this war has ended. We resisted the joint attack of over 100 ancestors. Facing other camps afterward will be much easier. Wu Lan also remarked. At least we can relax for a while. Jin laughed heartily. Brother Luo Feng, as promised, after the war ends, you must join me in exploring the mysterious land. Our cultivator territory still has many worlds occupied by other camps. We should first reclaim all the cultivator territory before you two go exploring. Yuan said. All right, I'm not in a hurry. Jin said with a smile. Luo Feng curiously asked, Jin, where are you planning to explore? Abyss of Destruction. Jin said, I've been there many times, always lacking a powerful companion. I'll send you detailed information about the Abyss of Destruction now. The 8 lords chatted leisurely as they returned to the land of origin. End of this episode. Tomorrow Tomato will take a day off, and the day after tomorrow the next episode will start updating. The college entrance exam has also begun. Tomato wishes all the students taking the entrance exam to jot down beautifully and achieve top rankings. 12 years of hard study will ultimately pay off. Good luck, young people. This video will end here.